Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can start our meeting. Before we start our meeting, I would like to welcome you guys to Rotary Club Subang's weekly meeting. And I'll be muting everyone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rotary Club of Subang. Good evening. Okay, I will be giving you guys a ground rules for this online meeting. I'll be muting everyone in the chat along for the entire meeting. If you have anything to be raised, please raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself to say something. All right, and for the talks and stuff, we have enabled the chat group. So you have any questions, you can always post in the chat group. And that's about it. Okay, yep, that's it. Please make sure your video is open, switched on, enabled, so that we would be able to see. And it is also on live on Facebook. Please ensure, please take care of your behaviors. Yeah, thank you. Now I'll be passing the meeting to President Brahma.
Thank you, PN Vinodan. I would like to welcome my fellow Rotarians, guests, and visiting Rotarians from other clubs to Rotary Club of Subang's weekly virtual meeting today. Announcements are as follow. Our club has recently delivered groceries under the Food Aid Box Phase 1 to 170 families in Puchong, Old Klang Road, Kepong, Jinjang, and PPR Batu Muda. I would like to thank Past Assistant Governor Raj and Rotarian Dinesh for making time for the handover of the groceries to the affected families. I know it was not easy. There were a lot of challenges, but you guys managed to get the job done within a day or within a half a day, and that is really commendable, because with all the restrictions now, it's a bit tough getting things over and delivered to the affected families. Secondly, is also our club managed to complete the sewing of all PPEs which were sent to us, and it was delivered back to them, which will be given to the frontliners. Okay, my deepest appreciation to Datin Kanagam for helping to sew the PPEs with her volunteers, and they managed to complete it. Also with some challenges, they managed to do it. So, and also I'd like to thank all our Rotarians, a few of our Rotarians, for helping to transport those PPEs which were completed to one of our beneficiaries. So I'd like to thank PP Shirley, PAG Raj, and Rotarian Dinesh, Rotarian Anand, and Rotarian Pallavi for your assistance for this transportation of PPEs from all the volunteers who sewed the PPEs. Third announcement is our Rotary District Virtual Conference. The date has been confirmed. The date is on 13 June 2020. So please block this date. Among the programs for the virtual conference are the district award results and also the TRF recognition. And also another date not to be missed in 2020 is the Rotary Virtual Convention, which will be held from 20th to 26th June 2020. So please block that date also. So these are two important dates in June before the end of our term, for end of term 2019-2020. So that's all my announcements from me. I will pass it to the secretary for any announcements. Thank you.
No announcements, President. I think we can move to the speaker.
Okay, if there's no announcements from the board, I think we had a board meeting earlier, so I think there won't be any announcements. I'll move it to the virtual coordinator, PN Vinodan, to take over from here.
Thank you, President. Next, we'll be moving on to the next agenda. Would be the guest speaker, Dr. Goh, on the topic of silver lining at the end of the MCO. Before we pass the platform to Dr. Goh, I would like to call Rotarian Dina to give an introduction to Dr. Goh.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. Today we'll be having a special speaker. His name is Dr. Goh Hoe Han, and his topic will be the silver lining at the end of MCO. Now, Dr. Dr. Goh is an associate professor at University Kebangsaan with over 10 years of research experience. He is currently leading the Plant Functional Geometric Research Group and managing laboratories at the Research Institute. Occasionally, he contributes as an columnist in the New Straits Times. He has organized various technical and motivational workshops as well, including mindset change and continuous professional development in his talk. He will be sharing his thoughts on discovering opportunities during the COVID-19 crisis and how to move forward. Dr. Goh, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dina, and everyone. So everyone can hear me loud and clear? Yes? Okay, so I will share my screen now for my slide. Okay, so everyone can see? Yeah, clearly? So basically, just to make a start, hi everyone. So I'm new to Rotary Club. So basically, all started when Dina contacted me when she saw my letter to the NST entitled "The Turning COVID-19 Crisis into Opportunity." So I take these opportunities to speak to everyone to share my thought about the silver lining at the end of MCO. So basically, the idea is to inspire, probably to help someone to go through this hard time. So if it's helpful, so basically to make a start, a disclaimer: not all slide materials are from my own. There are some materials that are taken from webinar throughout the MCO period. At least 4 webinars that I have been through, and then this is one of them from KCC. Basically, from KCC is one of the business consultants. He was talking about business continuity. So I'm going to share some of his slides later on. But basically, we want to get used to the new norm. And there are some other material that from other webinar that I'm going to mention later. So just a brief disclaimer first. That I use some of the material from other webinar that, sorry. Okay, so there are loser and there are winner during this COVID-19. Okay, so whichever industry you are from, regardless you are winner or loser side, that among the loser there will be winner. Among the winner there are loser also. So we have to make the best of the worst situation. So I hope most of us, even though we are losing, we still can make a better end of it. Okay. So before we start, probably we can get a poll on everyone's situations. Can you guess what this picture shows? The situation. From the left side, there's like a duck is like drowning or is trying to catch food, and then the middle you look like very calm, but it's actually paddling very hard, trying to maintain the calmness, and then or is just taking off. So whether you are in a crisis, you are in a survival mode, or you are recovery, or you have transformed. Can you start the poll for the session?
Yeah, I've just sent the polling.
So can everyone answer this?
I will give the end of polling result later once everyone is answered.
Okay. So just to have a gauge of how everyone stands at the moment.
Okay, currently survival rate is at 53%. That goes at transformed at 25%. Our survival now increased to 62. Recovery dropped by it is up and down 13, and crisis at 4%. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, totally
we have
only
24
members. Yeah.
out of 31.
I think there's another
So
7%.
you want to show the result?
Okay, can I end the poll?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see the result now?
So a lot of you are in a survival. Some will hopefully you can get over the crisis soon. Anyone still keep track of the number of days we have been in MCO? Do you know how many days have we been in MCO? No, already lost track of the time.
Pretty much lost
50
track.
days already. Today is the 50th day. We still have 6 days, according to like 12 May, if not extended. Yes. So it's like 50 out of 56. That's what I saw in my friend's Facebook page actually. I also lost track of the time, the day already, so I don't go and count the day nowadays. Okay. So basically, for those in crisis or survival mode, how to get to transformation. So for me, so I'm sharing my personal experience. How I try to make the best of the situation is finding inner peace. So the first step for the crisis is you need to find your inner peace. What do you mean by inner peace? It's actually taking a step back and put things into perspective. How to do that? For me, I would think about the worst case scenario. Have you thought about your worst case scenario during the COVID-19 or the MCO period? Yes. You can type into the Facebook Live comment. You can type in the conversation. You are all muted, so you can just type in the to be interactive. You can type in the conversation in the chat in the Facebook Live. Yes. So have you thought about your worst case scenario? Yes. So would be one of these. This is like the worst, right? You are getting infected with COVID-19. You start in the hospital. You get jobless, or you get the debt because you cannot pay for it, or your loved one get infected and pass away. So, but a lot of us, they are in the meeting now, are not in this situation. We are comfortably sitting in front of the computer and listening to a webinar. So for us to be in such a better situation compared to those that are actually facing this worst case scenario, I just be grateful. So with this mindset, the grateful mindset, gratitude mindset, I can move forward because I'm not dwelling on whatever uncertainty that's going to happen. So as long as you're alive, there is hope. So always stay optimistic. There is always a solution. It's not the end of the world during this crisis. So opportunity only come to those prepared mind. This is by Charlie Munger. And for so, you have to embrace changes. So if you have the mindset to embrace changes, you can take opportunity. If you dwell on the crisis and it's all about stress, you won't move. So you won't get any benefit out from it. But at the same time, there are a lot of opportunities. So be careful of the scam. Things that are too good to be true usually are too good to be true. So don't fall to scam. There are a lot of opportunities also during this time. Okay. So mindset change not only on the life will never be the same again. So it will change. So we have to accept this. There'll be a new normal, and we have to recalibrate our expectation during this lockdown, also after the lockdown. So what can we expect of ourselves or our family, of our employer, or of our company, our future? So we have to lower our expectation, or even our government. So using a product life cycle as an example, usually after a long time, there's a decline in the sale. So the company had to do something for the business, for the product to keep growing. So they had to innovate to market and iterate these steps. So for happiness, throughout our life, the happiness actually saturated. You get less happy, and as you get complacent, you actually become less happy. How to, for us, in our case, to maintain happiness going up? You have to give yourself anticipation, achieve something, contribute to the society, some excitement, some fulfillment, or your visibility to the others. It essentially can sum up as a sense of belonging, a sense of being. So it's basically a lifelong pursuit of happiness. Usually, how to do that is you have to continue evolving, and you are not growing if you are dying. So you have to grow all the time, and to do that, you have to take joy in learning. So don't afraid to change, don't afraid to learn new things. So I think you all have learned to use you actually get used to it now, right? Because of MCO, you are forced to adapt. So the best investment is to learn, as Warren Buffett put it. So learn to relearn, also to reskill. Okay, so that is what you can do. And transform in terms of mindset also, not just mindset, also lifestyle. You have to stay out now, and you cannot have the same lifestyle like before. You have to plan for your finance, and you could transform your career if you suddenly get retrenched. So for business owner, you have to transform your business. The business model, business model might not work in the future after the crisis or during the crisis. So even after MCO, the recession still ongoing. So you have to prepare your mindset for the long haul. It's not like after MCO, everything back to normal like before, but you can see the pandemic still ongoing for like 1 year or 2 years ahead. So there will be a lot of different things that we have to get used to. So I think a lot of you are familiar with gig economy, using the apps to do some like side business or side income generation. There are a lot of platforms for people to go on, like a lot of delivery men go on to Foodpanda as a delivery man, and that is kind of like the platform. And those are the gig economy. And gig actually in the past for the jazz group is like they are doing gig, but now it's like gig economy, and there are a lot of jobs in the future are going to automate it. So a lot of people going into gig economy. Why people go into gig economy? There are a lot of freedom. There are some people is trying to make ends meet while seeking a better job, just generate some income, and also make some extra money when they have the free time, or balancing the career so they have the freedom. So this gig economy, for those that are employed, unemployed, they have to do this to generate income for the temporary basis. And a lot of workers in the future, like in 7 years, there's always, it's already surpassed those as employed. So freelancers are actually, this materials come from Freelance Summit, actually Freelancer Summit. In the future, there will be a lot more freelancers than employed. And this trend is already true even before COVID-19. So COVID-19 just accelerated it. We just facing it faster. You have to face the truth faster. It's like wake-up call. It is going to happen even before the COVID-19. It's just that COVID-19 make it even faster. Probably not even 2027. It's like 2025, 2023 already majority are freelancer. So why is opportunity for you? Because when there's job cut, you become unemployed. You have to accept that you have to work from home or accept other opportunity. Then now you are getting used to having more time for your family, friends, even your pets. You have pet, I think your pet is enjoying this, that your companion with them. You can control of your life, income, and your own boss, take care of your own paycheck and chill your client, work anywhere, anytime you like. This is a freelancer. You have to just accept this positivity, and you get a financial and emotional freedom. But it's not all come good things, that you're going to have unpredictable income and or unlimited earnings. There is 2 ways. You can earn a lot more than employment if you do it well as a freelancer. But however, you are your own boss, so you don't have health benefit that a lot of people value from employment. About a quarter of working population in Malaysia already self-employed. This was for like 1 year ago, or so. This is from the start, and this is from the age. Mostly are young generation, below 30 years old. But I think that this trend will going to extend into the more higher age group. And mostly the labor sector are creative and multimedia, writing, translation, software development, those things that can do anywhere. Those people usually do it in Starbucks or somewhere with internet, they will function. And these are the top skills that people need. The freelancer value. The interpersonal skill, the time management, communication, business correspondence, problem solving, networking, negotiation. So these are the top skills. So my question is, what are your skill set? Yes, can you identify your skill set? There are a lot of different types of skill set. These are the list, but the highlighted are those that I mentioned before. The skill set that will let you be successful as a freelancer. You have to manage yourself very well. Time management is important, and also finance management. You have to have good networking. All your social media, your Facebook posts, all those, please leverage it, because those are your networking platform. Your IG, your TikTok, all those, your followers are actually your capitals. If you are freelancer, those are your capitals. The more follower, the more valuable you are. You are defined, your value are defined by your network. So make sure you utilize your time networking through social media during this time that you cannot go out socializing physically. You can virtually socialize and make more network, forge new network, or develop new skill like analytics or programming and learning from home. And be a content creator so that you can increase your visibility to increase your follower. So those are the skills. So having a growth mindset to be successful, you have to learn to reskill. Reskill, there are three different types. Either you're being adaptive, like for example, the teacher now teaching through online, like I'm a lecturer, I was having my class last Sunday through Microsoft Teams. That's not upskilling, that's just adaptive. We are just using new tool doing the same thing. Upskilling is like you are learning new skill. Now you don't know, you don't have any knowledge about programming. Suddenly now you are going into programming, data science, analytics. So you're learning new things or taking a new degree. That's upskilling. However, there are a lot of degree holders or PhD, even PhD holders are jobless. So sometimes they have to downskill. Their qualification doesn't fit the job market. So they have to find out what other things there are, even though they cannot be a lecturer or academic staff or a researcher, they have to know what skill they have that can do something, probably less pay, but at least get through the hard time. So they have to identify the skill set to sell to people as the boss, like they are developing their own business, or to future employer. That not necessarily what they want for now, but in the long term, perhaps they can build to leading to that. Apart from skill set, you have to know what is your passion. It's like what is your call? What is your calling in life? What you like to do that you can do, that spend a lot of time doing it without feeling boredom. These are a long list, and there are a lot more. So some of you can identify as like good in playing music, some like to edit videos, some like to play games, and all these can be turned into income generation. So you just have to utilize them. Turn your passion into something valuable, into content that people want to see. So utilize all this. You can learn some new languages, be a translator. So all these things you never thought about, it's time for you to think about it. When you are unemployed or you want to generate side income, you have to know what is your passion and what are your skills and what you can sell yourself for. You can turn your passion into business or side income, as I mentioned, either a lifestyle business, consulting business, or agency business. And you can see a lot of free webinar online. Basically, those are agency business or consulting business trying to get the follower. As I mentioned, they are building their network through this free event. Okay. So why do you need to work on your passion? Because you will be happy and have a purposeful life. You will be spending more time, willing to spend more time, you'll master it, you're a better version of yourself. And this turn into your income or into your job, right? Okay, so another reason is a reason for being. If you're working on something you're passionate about, it's a mission that the world needs, and it turns into your vocation and profession, you're achieving this ikigai, which is a reason for being, a concept from Japanese, that you can if you can identify ikigai for yourself, you can achieve personal happiness and fulfillment. At the same time, if I'm not sure you heard about this, I think this is more common compared to ikigai, is Maslow hierarchy of needs. It's in this pyramid shape, You have the basic need at the bottom that you need to have the full water, rest, and security so that you can survive. But you also need the intimacy, the relationship and friends, social life, and your self-esteem to give you a sense of being, accomplishment. Then you can achieve your full potential. And lastly, the final goal is to have a self-transcendence, which is a sense of meaning. And it's kind of like what I say in the beginning, the sense of meaning in life. So a lot of people kind of lost doing their job or like 24/7, doing the same thing over, don't know what's the meaning, like what's their calling, what they want to do and contribute to society. So actually this is a good framework for people to think about. Even better analogy is a boat. Okay, you can see the security as a foundation, the boat. If you don't have the shelter or food, you cannot even, the boat cannot even function. Okay, you need to have the basic as a boat so that the boat won't sink. So you have to have the self-esteem, connection, and safety. Then you need the love, exploration, and purpose to drive you to the direction that you want, the goal in life. So this is, so everyone is a boat. And now we are all in the same storm. Okay, so we are not the same boat. Some people are more privileged. They have a very strong boat. It cannot capsize. Some are in a very disadvantaged situation. So they might already sink. So we, if we are in the better boat, is our, how to say, it would be good that we can help others that is sinking. So basically, apart from this, we all are leader in our own way. So be you are the parent, or you are a manager, you are the employer, the boss. So you have to take the role and create certainty within this uncertain time. So lead, set a goal, what you want to achieve for your company or for your team, for your group, for your family, what you aim to achieve in weekly term, in daily term, so that people are certain and not lost in the crisis. So we have to adapt and changing. Digital transformation is not just business, it's everything. You have to digital transform yourself to be tech savvy so that you are future proof. So this is for employee and freelancer. You have to learn, continuous learning, lifelong learning, to resilience to changes. These are the 21st century skills, as you can see down there. So competency, character quality, all that are very important. And you need continuous professional development so that you have to think globally. Now the market is a global. Facebook, everyone can access from every corner of the world. So you don't restrict yourself to, as before, if you are a freelancer, you might be targeting just Malaysian. However, Facebook can go on to US. You could even get your customer from the US. If you are, for example, a copywriter, a proofreader, you can get employed. You can get someone paying you to do the job that you're good at, but it's not Malaysian. It's from elsewhere. So you have to think globally and build a network, and come back to the point before. And you have to embrace the fourth industrial revolution, the digital and artificial intelligence transformation. Don't afraid of it. Just actually embrace it and utilize it to help you to grow, to help your business to grow, and be tech savvy and learn extra skill that's unlikely to be automated based on your passion. For example, if you are good in stylish, in makeup, probably you can make up artist, because robot cannot replace human, right? Or hairdressing. Entrepreneurial skills also, robot cannot replace. Like for this 4C are irreplaceable. So you have to develop these irreplaceable skills. They are very important, okay? So that you are future-proof. And for business, why digitalization? These are the reasons why, but I'm not going through them. But you can actually save a lot of cost, and you can actually utilize on this big data to kind of predict the customer behavior and try to tailor your service and perhaps gather more clients. Okay. So you can get your business digitalization funded from crowdsourcing. There are a lot of crowdsourcing platforms. For example, this My Starter. So for example, BMS Organic actually using this to find people to contribute and actually raise as a some stock for like sharing for their branch. And even you can get some grant 5,000 from government and for free to help you with your business. If you're a business owner, you want to go for digital digitalization. Okay, so you can help. There are different aspects that you can digitalize your business. So these are lists. If you are interested, you can look into that. So I'm just provide an overview. So how to start for the business to be future-proof, to go online. If your business haven't gone on social media, I think it's a good time for you to go on social media. First thing is to set up your page, to tell your company history, then try to attract followers by sharing tips, DIY, or facts. Then you start to offer your product. Just like when a lot of webinars are free, so that is like the second step. They're getting people to go on to be aware of them. Then they start selling it, the consulting service. So that is kind of like the strategy. You can use the same for your product. So you have to use this. And for example, Ding Tai Fung, everyone know this, right? Some love it, some miss it now. Craving for it, the dumpling. You can get it frozen. So they actually evolve. They cannot open their restaurant, so they turn into selling it frozen. And they provide education to how to steam it, how long to steam it for dumpling and wonton, so that it tastes as similar as possible from the restaurant. Okay, that's another example. This is a yoga studio. So people cannot go to the studio in person physically. So they start sharing the lesson online. So you can actually do the yoga session live. So it's a live broadcast. So you just keep the audience, keep their crowd, engaging them. So you still have to engage your client or even the non-customer. You have to attract them. And they also share some just information like staying happy with your partner during this MCO lockdown. So it's not necessarily have to directly relevant to yoga. It's just something of interest. Then you have someone to visit. So you have to be creative. This is another good example. You know, cyber cafe, lockdown, no business, but they make an opportunity out of it. They become stay-at-home initiative. They send the PC to your home. They rent out their whole PC, the gaming PC. They send it to your house, and then they get the revenue from it. So you have to rethink the business model. If you're a business owner, you have to rethink how you can benefit from structuring your business model. Probably this initiative will stay even after MCO. Probably some people like having rental PC in their house, just playing the game in their house instead of going to cyber cafe. And Seng Heng had their strategy also. They're selling the future. They're selling discount voucher for half price. But there's a condition. If you look at the small print, you have to have a minimum purchase of, minimum purchase of 200. So for those that bought this voucher, they definitely will spend more than 200 on it, right? And for those that bought this voucher, they're going to spend more than 500 on it to use this voucher. So they already sell in advance, even though it's still during MCO, right? So you have to be creative in how you generate cash flow. During this time, no one go to your shop to buy. How are you going to generate income? The cash flow have to keep your company survive. So to keep your cash flow, like Asia keep their cash flow by just giving out credit instead of refund, right? So they give out credit, so they still maintain the cash. So that's the strategy. And there are a lot of other future revenue sales, like you can advertise voucher on NST, for example. This is one of the platforms that you can actually sell for the future by selling voucher or discount. And this is a slide, just a general briefing on the first one I mentioned, from KCC. The business continuity strategy, the 5 points that raised is actually re-strategizing company directions, determining the critical priority, resource reallocation by doing staff redeployment or online off-site revenue fast track, and implement remote work so that the staff is still functioning at home. If they are still getting paid, they need to do something contributing to the company. And also cash flow management, which is very important. So just to share a bit, so I'm not going to details of this. You can actually go to the webinar by KCC, and then I think there will be, he just keep doing it, so you can actually join one of his webinar on Zoom. So I want to point out is, one interesting thing that I learned from his talk is, he mentioned about the role of accountant in the company. They're just not keeping track of what is like the transaction being. You can actually utilize accountant to forecast the future. So they are not just a historian, but also futurist. So that's a concept that I find interesting from the talk. So the others, I'm not going to it. This just to show there are many ways and strategy to go about doing this. And there are resources out there. And I'm not an expert in doing this because I don't own a business and I have no experience or practical experience on it. So I can only tell you the theory without the credential to help you. So most importantly, you have to have a plan. Okay, you might hope that it won't happen again. It might be, the COVID-19 might be over, but then there will be other pandemic in the future. So you have to prepare for the future. Is there a permanent change in your company business model that you have to do? So all this you have to think about. So something for you to think about. And all these have systematic tools. And there's a guidebook on this. And you can actually get this information through the page. You can follow his page and he actually give out this for free. So you can use all these worksheets for free to help your company. And this is basically based on the 5 strategy. So we have learned almost the end. We are almost the end of my talk. So I learned something, a lot of things actually, just 10 lessons that I want to share during this. We learned about, for our personal hygiene. Okay, let me, so that I can see my slide. We learn to appreciate little things in life. Things that once upon a time we can do freely outside, we cannot do. Now you start to miss them. So you start to appreciate all these things. Like even going to mama with friends, you cannot do it now. So those little things you start to appreciate. Then you have to appreciate lesson is digital transformation is inevitable in all aspects of life. So you cannot avoid it. You just have to learn to be tech savvy. You have to adapt to online services. How many of you never take food delivery but start doing it now during MCO? I'm one, for example. During MCO, I start using the food delivery service. So that is the first time for everyone. And MCO force people to do that. And you learn to be better in remote communication, like using this kind of platform for video conferencing or a remote meeting. And you learn the meaning and importance of your loved one. They are here to support. And you learn to manage and plan for your money saving. The importance of saving up for this hard time. You learn, you take time to pursue passion and also learn new skills. And also your home sweet home. In the past, you might not spend as much time at home. Now you have to make your home as sweet as possible because you are always at home. Okay, so at the end, just some take-home message from this talk. First, prepare for the worst case scenario. Don't do a thing that you cannot change or control. Always look on the bright side of life, embrace changes and opportunity along the way. Stay relevant, learn to relearn and reskilling. Be open-minded to all possibility. Maximize, realize the potential, talent, and meaning in life. Helping others to help yourself. Do win-win-win. Like I'm sharing the material from all these webinars. I think of it as win-win-win. Their material is useful for my message, and they are useful to inform you and also help them to promote their service. So it's win-win-win. So always think win-win-win. How you can help others to help you, to help everyone. And research that and have a plan, always have a plan. I am a planning person, so I always have a plan. And be creative, think outside of your business model. You cannot keep thinking of business as usual. You have to start thinking of blue ocean strategy. How you're going to attract the non-customer during this MCO time, as I told you before. and seek professional service if needed. You cannot do everything yourself. If you don't have the expertise, you might need to invest before you can harvest. Okay, for the digitalization, for example. Okay, at the end, I hope everyone will survive this COVID-19 storm and be the winner out from it. And thank you for your attention. But before we end, we'll have an interactive input from you all. So even those that's in a live Facebook broadcast, you can also join in. Please join in about what you have learned. So let me come out from this. How am I going to Zoom? Let me unshare this screen first. Okay. New share. Pause share. Stop share. Let me stop share first. Okay, I'll share my window. So you all can go use your phone or open your, wait, let me close this. Okay, let me share something else. Okay, share this. So, do you learn other things? Can you see my screen? Yes? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, can you go to this link, paulev.com/hgo970? Apart from the 10 take-home message, do you learn something else? So you can type in or you can vote on others if you agree. Do you gain any other message from my talk? So it would be helpful. Just a refresher on your take. You might learn something out or inspire you of other things that from my talk that you want to share with others. This is a good time. So all those on Facebook Live, please also join in to contribute in this take-home message. So it will show up. Yes, yes, please, please. Cool. Yes, yes, please, please.
So far, we have 4 responded. You guys can go and respond in. Yeah,
More coming.
in. Correct. You can log in this in paulev.com/hgoh970.
Yeah, you don't need to log in. Just go to that. There will be a question. You just fill in. Just type it in.
Sorry, moderator, is this Q&A session now?
We'll go into Q&A session after this. Yeah.
The next slide will be the Q&A.
Okay.
But you guys can post your questions in the chat box. I will also read out, and also if you guys have Q&A that means you want to ask, then we can also allow you to ask.
Okay, so never take life for granted. Evolve to stay on the race, finding inner peace and mindset, and financially those without safety cash go underwater. Be optimistic. Okay. Any more? Okay, if not, then we move on to the Q&A. You can either type in the chat, or you can also pose your question on this. So the other people, if they have the same question, they can vote on it.
All right, Dr. Goh, there's one
Yes.
question from the chat. PAG Raj
Yes.
actually asked whether can all business go sales go digital?
Depend on the nature of your business. Certain things can never go digital. Like for example, barber, right? That is a service sales. You cannot go digital about it. But you can promote your service. You can transform your barber shop so that more crowd will come after the lockdown. So you can do other things if your business cannot go physical to sale. So you think creative.
Okay, I believe the question for PAG Raj has been answered. PP Rama, actually, you have raised the hand. Do you have any questions? PP Ramakrishnan?
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to raise the hand. No, I just put a message in the chat that a lot of these things here will not apply for the oil palm plantation. That is why the plantations were never locked down during this period.
Dr. Goh, any comment on that?
Again?
What he says is a lot of.
The question?
It was not more to a question; it's more into the a statement stating that.
Comment.
Yeah, correct. More that oil plantations and in oil business and also the plantation, they not be able to go digitalized and stuff.
I think that they can go back to now they can go back to plantation, right? So during the second phase of the MCO, I think those farmers can still go back and maintain their farms, right? Otherwise, how they're going to feed the population? I think they have to keep the raw materials coming in. Otherwise, the whole the value chain will break down.
Right. Okay. In the sorry, Bibrahma, go ahead.
No, what I meant is the job is done manually. So without the people,
manual job.
So without the people, job cannot be done. So that is why plantations were never shut down. The job continued throughout.
However, there is automation coming in. Even though the manual job cannot be replaced totally, but the number reduced. The labor number reduced.
In fact, I've been in the plantation now for about 40 over years. From day one until now, we are still looking for mechanization of housing. That means we don't have to use the manual pole to go and house. So various types of machines have come even from other countries. There was no machine which can beat the men.
Yes. So until the day with a machine that can beat the man, then that will be the replacement.
I'm actually waiting for a drone to go and harvest the ripe bunches from the tall palms. Come up with it.
That's a digital technology improvement that may or may not be coming in sooner or later. In the questions in the poll, EV, I believe it's a comment rather than saying it's question. It's nature has proven it, and only thing constant is the change. It's true enough, and
more like a take-home message.
yes, it's more like a take-out message actually. And yep, always find a solution. Food and medical are a good venture. Very true on the food and medical are the good ventures. They are looking at the current thing. They are actually the one who's growing and making more to it. Okay, seeing the comments in the chat box, I think that the 11th message, I think PAG Raj has put 11th message that he learned from the
11th lesson all of us learned.
yeah.
Read
Yeah,
it.
how much the school teacher suffers with our children at school. Very true, very true. My wife is a teacher. My wife is a teacher, and she's running she's literally running online classes. After the classes, she'll be mumbling, you know, how much tiredness that she have to go through and stuff. And I believe the parents are also feeling our it. A lot of parents over here with
appreciating teacher more after MCO.
All right, the next comment is from PP Shelley. Now, I hardly quarrel with my business partner these days, and it's only because we are on survival mode and very dependent on each other. We need to go through this together. It is a true comment.
Not getting angry with me, so I'm a bit worried now. So.
It's something that you have to be.
Is that good or bad?
That's why.
That's I don't know. I'm still in the reflective mode. Whether that's good or bad.
You can still argue over the phone.
Dr. Goh said,
There's nothing to argue about.
No, also you got to be worried.
Maybe his children are abusing him at home mentally.
I think so.
Yeah. See, you hear, right?
Yeah, I've been there's a compliment for PP Shelley. You have been angel during MCU. By Woon. Right. Any other question, guys? We can take another 2 to 3 questions. Yeah. Any questions? Any comments? Any feedbacks over the talk?
Moderator, there's one question from Dina. I think she asked how long it will take before life going back to normal.
She asked him for a second time because it was ignored earlier.
Oh,
it depends on what normal you're talking about. The normal before MCO is not going to be the same anymore. After MCO, there's a new normal. So instantly you have the new normal after MCO. The normal in the past is the past. Like now, when we go back to the university, my research institute, we have to come with the new SOP of going to work. That's the new normal coming up, that we have to come with the standard operating procedure. So the normal in the past will never come back, because in the future, as the human population get more and more, pandemic is getting more frequent. The chances, the risk of pandemic is higher in the future. So everyone will be taking care of their hygiene and health more carefully. And do you feel that you actually fear of crowds after MCO? Have you all have the psychology of you're afraid to go out of your house after MCO? You are so used to staying at home for the last 50 days that you start to get used to working from home, that you don't want to go back to work. So it takes 3 weeks for the habit to stick, and now it's over 3 weeks. So the habit that you build, you have to change. It takes another 3 weeks for you to get used to the new habit. So if you feel that your habit, the new habit as a new normal, then it takes 3 weeks at least for you to get used to the new normal.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Goh. There's another question from Aslan. It's a guess of when airlines will get 50% capacity.
I have no clue. Then I have to ask Tony.
I think he's answering dinner.
Yeah, I think that's an answer. Yeah.
And there's another question from Rotarian Ajit Pal. What would we expect our new normal to look like? I think we have actually answered that, right? it's covered with Dina's.
I know, yes. Everyone actually making the new normal. We are the new normal. How you feel now is how everyone else feeling. About social distancing, we still have to keep, we kind of like suspicious that everyone is like infected. So you cannot get too close. Handshake become not the normal. We cannot shake people now, right? We used to handshaking, now cannot. Yeah,
Right,
that's
any
the
more
major
questions?
thing, I think, the new normal. You stay distant away from people. You try to avoid crowd and you try to avoid handshaking. And you will try to wear masks all the time in the crowd, going to public places or public transport.
Okay, there's another comment from Queen, I think. It's a new normal, me wearing a hat all the time. Turban, perhaps. Yes, I believe in quite a number of meetings, Dina has been forcing us to wear hats in the meeting. All that.
I didn't force you, I
To
asked
create.
you. And then you went on and got it, right? I didn't force.
Yes. All right, moving on. Okay, we'll take one more question, then we will move on to the next agenda.
It's a comment. It says
Yep,
that, yeah, the worry
yep.
is after all settled down, we may forget the new normal.
That is true. It's just our New Year resolution. Now you make up all the goal you want to achieve. When everything can go back as similar as like before, you start to get back to the bad habit. Just like you see all the river become clean because no factory running, and then after MCO, you will see soon it's all contaminated again. You are back, people are thinking of business as usual. So everyone want to go back to business as usual. That is normal. The human behavior want to go back to the previous normal.
Right, thank you, Dr. Goh. We will move on to the next. It's been an interesting talk, and I believe everyone has benefited from the talk and the presentation is shared by Dr. Goh. Moving on to the next agenda, I would like to call PP Tinesh to give the thank you note
to my line breaking.
To Dr. Goh. Yep. Over to you, PP Tinesh.
Thank you, Vinodhan. Dr. Goh, that was one wonderful presentation. We have spoke about a lot of things that's currently happening and what we can expect. I especially liked a few topics that you discussed, like finding inner peace. Yes, definitely we are in a panic mode, so it is very important to find the inner peace. Okay, and I like the word to recalibrate the expectation. Okay, and I think the most common expectation that we are trying to recalibrate now is Ramadan Bazaar that we cannot go to. Okay.
Sorry. I lost connection.
Okay. I need to start again. Okay. Yeah.
On the chat, I can see from the chat. Oh my
Okay,
chat all disappeared. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, yeah, it was a very good talk, and I personally like few comments, few topics that you discussed tonight, especially finding inner peace amidst of the panic situation that we are going through. And also, I like the word to recalibrate the expectation. As I said just now, the most common recalibration that we are doing is our Ramadan Bazaar right now. I think, and also the main point that you have been emphasizing is continue to evolve, okay, and learn and pick up new skills. Like some of our Rotarians staying at home do not know what to do. They are keep on learning new things. Like our PP Siva is learning how to cook Maggie in 30 minutes.
Wow. Huh? 30 minutes? That's a bit low.
Yeah, and everyone somehow or rather trying to reskill and finding for opportunity to keep on the race, and to continue survive. Okay, and yes, the digitalization and the revolution plans are very important at this moment for us to continue survive and to look forward to the future. Okay, and I just would like to quote something that I recently watched in the YouTube. Even though things has been asking, no government been asking, people are been asking us to stay away from each other, keep the social distance and everything. But I really like this when I watched. They say the only way we can go through this crisis is by thinking as we and not as me. Even though we are staying at home, but I think we have a collaboratively have a responsibility to bring up our community and helping each other to survive during this crisis. With that, I would like to record again heartiest thank from Rotary Club of Sulbang to Dr. Goh, and that was a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity and nice to meet you all, Rotarian. Letting me to share with you all. Hope you all enjoy it.
Thank you, PP Dinesh. Thank you, Thank you, PP Dinesh, for the thank you note, and also Dr. Goh for the presentation. Okay, before we close the meeting, I would like to pass this platform back to President Brahma.
Thank you, PN Vinodan. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Actually, we have our guest session. Maybe we will start off with some introduction. Yes, PN Vinodan.
Sorry, I missed out that. And okay, moving on to the next agenda, I would like to call Past Assistant Governor Praj for the introduction of guests.
Thank you, Vinodan, moderator. It's okay, first day at job, we understand. All right, we, on behalf of the president and the members of Rotary Club of Subang, we would like to thank all our guests here today, the non-Rotary members. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming in to meet us, to talk to us. The other thing mentioned by Dr. Goh is we also have to be together. We are strengthening our skills, but we have to go through this together. So thank you for coming. The new introductions, we are very glad to know about you, and please come again. And we have a lot of talks that have been lined up. We have something called featured speaker series. There you go. Dinesh, can you see the screen? Just give a thumbs up. Okay, all right. So today is 6 May, we have Dr. Goh, and next Wednesday, 13 May, we have 4 speakers. This is more a business connection talk. We have 4 speakers from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and India. And if you're in business or even if you are employed in a career, it's a good talk to come and listen to them. And then on the 20th of May, we have talk titled Connecting Through International Service, and we have Rotary clubs from Malaysia, Australia, India, Indonesia, and Philippines coming together. We are expecting 100 to be in the room. So if you like to network with and if you like to talk to those out of Malaysia, this is a good opportunity to see how they are surviving and transforming. And on 27th of May, we have a very top psychologist in Bahamas, Darren Turnquest, a very young psychologist. He's going to talk about mental health on lockdown. This is not during lockdown. I mean, our mental health, do go to lockdown due to crisis, survival and transformation. So he's going to give us some tips how to get over it. And then on 3rd of June, we have a Rotary International Director nominee, PDG Venkatesh. He's going to talk about future of Rotary in 5 years time and 10 years time. So our dear guests and also the visiting Rotarians here today from other Rotary clubs, thank you for coming. Thank you for connecting with us. Please look up for, please get your ticket for the talks, register for the talks at our Facebook page, and join us for our future talks. Yeah, thank you. See you next week. Back to you, moderator.
Thank you, PhD Raj. Okay, now I'm passing back the platform to President Brahma.
Thank you, President nominee Vinodan. I think that we have come to the end of our meeting for today. We will follow up with a fellowship after this, so I will close the meeting for today.
Thank you, President. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, officially our meeting has ended. It's fellowship time. You guys can unmute yourself and talk. Yep.
Maybe you can mute all hosts.
I've unmute everyone.
Unmute, sorry.
Hello.
Unmute all.
Hello.
Hi.
Now you guys can say anything.
Hello.